Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the home of the Magic Twig. This is where Craig Barwell invented and first used the Magic Twig, the original one that you've seen on the video. So we're here to do a review, and it'll be honest, an honest review. We'll look through loads of stuff to do with the Magic Twig, the pros and cons. It'll all be honest. There'll be no gimmicks, no promotions, just pure honesty. See you later. Na 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 na, get twiggy with it. Na 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 na, get twiggy with it. Na 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 na. Right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are for the review of the Magic Twig. So, obviously, everybody's been debating the Magic Twig. Everyone's probably got preconceived ideas before they've had one in their hand. I've had lots of thoughts about it, but I'm going to be going into this with an open mind, and it's going to be an honest review. Craig is one of the bailiffs here, or involved with Foster somehow, but the review is going to be honest of what we think about it. I've spoke with Craig about it. He's happy for me to do it. So I've already had a look, because it's about 6 o'clock now. I've probably got couple of 3 hours to get all set up, get my spots done. So I've already had a look. Did want to open it up on camera, to be honest, so you can see me having a look at it for the first time. But anyway, I opened it at home. The first thing I noticed is they're smaller than I thought. I don't know what it looks like now, but I thought they looked quite bulky on the videos that I'd seen. But yeah, they are quite smaller than first thought. The thing that I have noticed, which is a con, not a pro, is I've got the light ones, 4.5 ounce light ones. Now, setting one into the sleeves, it's quite easy. Trigger's quite easy. The other one, on the other hand, if you can see, difficult to set and quite a bit of force to trigger. So that would mean the consistency, either the consistency of the production is not quite up there, or it's been packaged wrong, and this is one of the heavier ones. Now, I don't know what the heavier ones look like. There is braid that goes through the centre. I don't know if you can see. There's a spring and braid that goes through the centre. Now, I'm guessing that could happen if the braid is not tied at exactly the same length for each one. But as you can see with this one, the force to trigger that is quite a lot. So I'll be debated whether that would be triggered on the take or not. But we shall see on the reviews. I know somebody else that has used it, and they're saying it's triggered when they're bringing it back. So obviously you've got a bit of tension there, and it's getting triggered. So whether this one triggers or not, we shall see. So that's first impression coming out the pack. Packaging nice and small. I thought it would be big and bulky. So yeah, looks good. What I will also be doing, I'll be doing the brake test at the end. Obviously, once the session's over, I've only got 24 hours here. I'll be doing the arm brake test, and seeing if it does break. So yeah. Other things that I'll think of, I know you need PTFE tape on the cast to stop it setting off. I will have a few casts without the PVA tape, probably at the end. See if they set off on the cast. Like I said, I think the one will, and the one maybe won't, but we shall see. I'll do the brake test. I'll see how they react in the net. Now, I know Ali Hamidi has said, and also Craig has said, once they're in the net, drop all the line, drop all the rig in the net before you attempt to pick it up, or you unhook the fish in the net. So I'll be doing that for fish safety, but I'll also be seeing if it does catch in the net. I've been told if it does catch in the net, the arms break off anyway. So we shall see that, whether that's the case or how it is in the net. But yeah, we'll get it all set up, and I'll show you it set up, and then hopefully we can catch a fish on it. Otherwise this review is going to be all for nothing. Right, these are the 2 rigs to go out on the Magic Twig. So I've got one German on uncoated braid, nice and simple, tiger nut, and a bank bait tiger nut banoffee pop up, just to balance it. And the top one is the IQD rig. Again, tiger nut and bank bait tiger nut banoffee, just to balance it. So I've gone with one sort of stiff link and one soft link. So yeah, we'll see what happens with those 2. I will have a 3rd rod, but so I've only got 2 Magic Twigs, so a 3rd rod is irrelevant for this review. Right then guys, so here it is. The twig set up. Got a bag on the end. This is the uncoated braid. Bag of tiger nuts on the end. I've forgot the PVA tape, so I've had to get some PVA mesh, cut that down, tie that around to stop it setting off on the cast onto a lead clip, and that's it. So we'll send that out, see how we get on. Right, so here we go, number 2. Set up on the IQD rig, little bag, tiger nuts, tiger nut on the hook, and bank bait tiger nut banoffee pop up, just to balance it. Again, tied off with a PVA tape, just onto a normal lead clip, 3-ounce lead. This one is actually the one that was stiffer out the pack, if you remember, so I've still put the PVA tape around it, but we'll test it tomorrow just on a normal cast when the session's over. See if it does activate just on the cast with no PVA tape. Morning guys, the Magic Twig has struck. Woo! So the take was absolutely carnage. It bolted off that much. I was fishing over there, and by the time I picked the rod up, it was near enough in the well, it did go in the reeds for a second. So the take was vicious. The hook has come out in the net, so I can't give you an accurate description on the hook hold. Maybe it wasn't hooked fully in the mouth, maybe it was only on the edge of the lip, don't know. But we're going to get him out now. Right, the first fish on the Magic Twig. Unfortunately the hook did come out straight away. Yeah, the hook had already come out in the net. So we're not caught up in the net with the arms at the moment, but the fish is already unhooked. This is on the D rig. What I'll do is I'll get it out. Too late, fish. What I'll do is I'll get it out and I'll have a little record. Because it went in the weed. It went in the reeds. So in fact, is that not a plus? Is that a pro? Well, I have ended up in the reeds with this. Didn't get snagged up. The lead's ejected. It's got to be a pro, hasn't it? I haven't lost any arms at the moment, so it's got to be a pro, surely. Right, the first fish on the Magic Twig. 18 pounds, 10 ounces, something like that, and 18 and a half. 18 3/4, something like that anyway. Let's have a look. Right, so the take was vicious, as has been described. I was actually fishing up against, not tied up against a tree line, but tree line straight in front of me. By the time I got to the rod, it took me 40 yards to the left and into reeds, which got me panicking a bit. Got it out of the reeds, got it in the net. I hadn't lost any arms. The lead had been ejected off the lead clip, and it come out of the reeds quite easy, to be fair. So if anything's going to be a test, that's a good one. That's a good test for it. So I'm impressed with that. It does what it says on the tin with that one. Obviously it hasn't got snagged up because the arms haven't broke off. I noticed one seems a little bit more bent than the other, but the arms haven't broke off. But it didn't snag up in the reeds. So unfortunately the hook had come out in the net. The hook point was bent over. Maybe it wasn't hooked particularly well. Maybe in the edge of the lip when it was triggered. I don't think there's anything to do with the twig. But yeah, it come out in the net, so I couldn't show you any hook hold. Hopefully I can get another one and we can have a look at that. In the net, didn't catch in the net. I did what has been shown and dropped it into the net, and obviously it was unhooked. I'm not a fan of unhooking fish in the net, just because you can end up stabbing yourself. So yeah, hopefully I can get another one and we can show you what that's like. But it did catch a little bit in the net, but nothing that a little shake didn't get out. Nothing worse than a leg clip, to be honest. So the first experience of the twig, get in. It's just a bit emotional. It's a moment in my angling career I didn't think I'd be able to witness or get. But, being able to catch on the Magic Twig. And I might have just nearly caught again. Right, so I've just retrieved the trig. Just retrieved the Magic Twig, just for a rig change, and it hasn't set off. There you go, that's it set off now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pop up on it for another couple of 3 hours. So I only got probably 3 hours left before I pack up and get home. So yeah, I'll get a pop up on, get a Ronnie on, get a pop up and see if we can get one on that, or if that makes any difference. Right then, that is my session over. There is only one thing left to do, which is the brake test. Let's hope this goes well. Right then, grabbing on one of the arms, bending back. No, doesn't break. What a shame. Doesn't break at all. That's disappointing. Oh well. Right, so this is the end of the Magic Twig review. I'll just do an overview of what my thoughts are. Smaller than expected, as I noticed with between the 2 twigs that you get in the same pack, you did get a different tension on both. One seemed hard to set and hard to set off, and the other one seemed quite easy. Once I'd caught a fish on the one that was hard to set, it seemed to go like the other one then and be easy to set off. So yeah, I don't know if they need some work on the manufacturing there to get them spot on. The take, I've only caught 1 fish, so the take that I had was vicious. It probably took me 30-40 yards, caught it to the left, ripping line off, and took me into reeds. I managed to get it out of the reeds, no problem. Managed to get it in the net. The lead had ejected, so the lead had obviously got caught up. None of the arms had snapped. In the net, the hook had actually come out, so I was letting it rest. The hook had already come out. The arms in the net, the same as probably a lead clip, really. It is an extra thing to get tangled, but I don't think it's much of a cause for concern. The one thing that is the breaking of the arms, or the non-breaking of the arms. It's a shame, because actually I've really liked it. It's been sold by OMC as the arms break off and it being safe, and the arms don't break off. The arms bend round, so I think maybe in the reed situation, for instance, I noticed one of the arms was bent more out than the other, so it may have got caught up in the reeds. I think you're looking at carnage if you're going, if you're fishing on weedy lakes, if they don't break off. I can't understand how they've promoted it, how Ali Yamini's promoted it as the arms break off and the arms don't break off. I mean, they may break off in different scenarios or different products, but they should be breaking off every single time, the first time of asking. And Ali's done a video with it, with the arm not breaking off, and I've just done one. So it's a shame. Would I use it again? I would use it, but I wouldn't use it in a weedy lake, no way. I'd use it in the lake I'm on now. Any lake that's just silt and gravel. As long as you haven't got any dangerous snags and any weed, 100% be using it. And I will use it in the winter here, when the fish are a bit more lethargic and they're not moving. I definitely think that it'll give you better hooking properties. Just when them fish are just sat there, just shaking their heads, not moving, they shake their head and then they're getting a jolt. I think that's a real good benefit for it. I think what they need to do, in my opinion, what they need to do is come out and maybe say, oh, we've got it wrong on the arms, and just make an adjustment to it. Come out with another video with the arms easily snapping off, and then I think I'd be happy, and I think everyone else will be happy. So yeah, I was a little bit wounded, to be honest, that it didn't snap at the end. I was really hoping it would. I was really hoping it'd snap. Because if the arm would have snapped, I would have said, really weedy waters, don't fish, don't use it on really weedy waters. But weedy waters, like when I'm going to Norton next week, or a couple of weeks, you've got a bit of weed in there. It's not that bad, but you've got a bit of weed in. And I would have used it there, barbless hook rules. You're going to get a better hook hold. But if the arms don't snap off, what can you do? That fish will just take line, and if it gets caught up in weeds. I had it with, when I had it on a solid bag, with my with a 1 ounce lead at Norton Disney, and it balled itself up in weed, and I probably had it about 20 minutes in the weed. You can imagine that with the twig with prongs that don't break off. So I'll use the product, but I'll use it the same as I wouldn't use like a helicopter style fixed lead where the lead doesn't eject in a heavily weeded water. I wouldn't use that in that scenario. So it is a product I'd use, but in a certain scenario, i.e. silty, non-weedy lakes. There's a fish there. Non-weedy lakes, and that's it. That's all I can say about it. So hopefully they can get it sorted and get it so that them arms do break off every time. And then I'll definitely be happy to use it in weedy lakes, not heavily weeded lakes. Weedy lakes, I'll be happy to use it then. So, alright, that's the end of it. So I hope that's helped everyone, and see what happens from here.